and we'll post it on our YouTube channel a little bit later. So thank you, Ryan Rivers. She is the eyelet at Tarkington. And then Rachel Keckstead is also here kind of supporting this. She did this morning. They kind of flip-flop. So these are always informal. If you have any questions as we go, feel free to unmute yourself and ask or comment. You can also drop questions and comments in the chat. So yeah, go ahead, take it away, Ryan. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to share my screen so you can see. I just want to show you a couple different. Everyone see my screen? You probably see the screen of all of us, right? So just a couple different websites. When you're thinking about making your website, you probably want to think about who is this website for, and what kind of information you want to have on it. So I have 3 different websites that I manage. One of them is the POPTO website, only because I'm the president currently, and because I've done this job the last couple, I think 3 years. So this one has a lot of the sub pages to them. You can see up on the top, and a lot of things linked to it. But the thing I edit the most is probably this main page. Not a lot of images or anything like that. Just basic kind of grab and go, get the information you need. This is one that I manage probably about 3 or 4 months of the year for our One School, One Book reading initiative. And it's based on a book, and there's lots of activities and ways for families to participate. So everything is pretty much on this page. I have no pages to this. This is it. It is a home page, and everything is here. So that's the extent of it, and everything's linked to it. So basically, if you wanted to go to other resources, you would just link through this page. And then I have one that I use as kind of my link to my blog for PSI. So basically, like I said, mostly everyone comes here for the blog, and this is the link I give parents every couple weeks, and just gives an update on what we're doing in PSI. But I have some other information up here, like pages, like resources, contact information. So not a very developed site at all, but pretty basic. So we're going to get started just by showing you how to start with a Google site. So it's fairly simple. You're just going to go to your Drive and go to New, go to More, and then just go to Google Sites and just start one like that. When you do that, something I noticed the other day, and I didn't notice before when Rachel and I were going through this, is that they give you an option for some templates, but it's very temporary. It shows up here right at the bottom where it says View Template Gallery. So something you want to consider if maybe you just want something that's, I don't know, I hate to say like quick and dirty, but a little bit quick and dirty, like you can just start from someone's template and then just modify everything the way that you want. So you can see there's even one here for education. So you could just start with this. It already has pages set up for you, and you would just change those pages to be what you want it to say. So again, if you're a newbie and you don't want to put a lot of, I don't want to say effort, because this is going to take effort too, but if you want something that's already somewhat set up for you, like pages are already here, and then you just modify it as you see fit. Obviously changing pictures and content for your group of people. But most people, I would say, probably do it the hard way, because we all kind of want what we want, right? So most people probably go here to, oops, wrong place. Oh, I hate it when this happens. Hold on. Do you guys have this problem where it won't let you pick something from here? Well, anyways, I'll just go to this one. So basically, I have a problem that it will link to what's below it and not what's above, what's on it, like on the menu. It's very strange. But anyways, so if you just go to Google Sites and you pick a blank one, it's completely blank. You have to start from scratch with everything. Most people start with themes and pick a theme. So mostly what this does is just change the text and some of the colors. I already changed the background here, which I'll show you how I did. You can also change, you can see it says font style here, and you can change the type of style, but within the same font family. I know Rebecca had asked that question previously. And then you can change coloring, like maybe if you want I don't know, green stripe, purple stripe. Okay, so those are all thematic choices you can make and mess around with and change it, and as many times as you need to. You will notice, though, when you make those changes, it shows up on every page. See how my bar on the top is the same? And then same thing here, when I change on my home page this image, I can do it two ways. I can upload an image or I can just select an image. That's where this one came from. It's just a background. I think that one's actually kind of pretty. It's this one here, but maybe I wanted to change it to be like this. You'll see that changes it on all of these. Oh, no, it doesn't. Sorry. It just changed on that one. But whatever the first time you do it, it seems to modify or repeat it on all of those pages. So what happened to my home? Oh, there it goes. It's loading slowly. Another thing you'll notice up here is there's a header type. And let me make sure, I'm just making sure everyone's still there and I'm not just talking to myself. That could easily happen. Oh, good. Everyone's so quiet. It could easily happen. I could just chat with myself. Let me see if I can reload this because it's getting stuck on. There it is. All right. So, and it still didn't bring that background back. That's strange. All right. So anyways, I could change the header type too. So this one they call banner. This is title only, large banner. Covers, just really dependent on the size. I think most people pick this one, the banner. And again, those are just all changes you can make in as many times as you want to. Uploading an image you definitely can do, but you need something that's going to be horizontal and long like that. So it doesn't always work out. You can kind of see, which one was that? This one. This one, I struggled to find a picture with my Humphrey just because I couldn't do the book because the book is vertical. And even this picture I don't love, but it's representative of the book. So I went with that. So something to consider. I'm going to change it back to this one because I actually really like that one. All right. So I don't have a Tarkington LLC page right now, but I easily could create one, and I plan to this summer. So some things that on this page that I could start doing is once I have my pages set up, like I've already added these. I have research resources and library events, and I did that by going to pages and just hitting this plus down here for a new page. For example, what if maybe I want a new page and I want to call it curriculum? You'll see it shows up here. If I don't like the order of these, like maybe I want a curriculum at the end, I can just move it and you'll see it reflects that up here. And then beneath this, maybe I want to have subpages. That's like on that PTO page when I showed there was a lot of things under the one link. So to do that, you're going to go under the one that you want to put a subpage and go to the snowman over here and click on add subpage. And maybe I want to do like kindergarten. So I just want to talk about kindergarten curriculum. And that makes a page for that there. And then if I want to make one for first grade, I'm going to go back here to the one I'm connecting to, and I'm going to type in first grade and so on and so forth. Just make sure that the one that you're under is the one that you're getting the subpage to. Because if I go to first page here, first grade, and I add a subpage here, that subpage goes under first grade and not curriculum. So just something to consider. See how it showed up here? And delete that though. So those are the pages that you're going to add. And then to work on each page, you're just going to click on it. So here I click on Research Resources. You can see that I've actually already added a layout here, but you can add any of these layouts that you want. To do that, go back to that insert page and you'll see the layouts here. So this layout, the one that I'm showing, is this first one. All I did is I took it and I dragged it over. I can add it again. So, and if I don't like it, I can just delete it and it will go away. So once I figure out what layout I want, and again, this all goes back to what kind of information you want to add to this and how accessible you want it to be and for who, I guess really who's accessing it. So this is showing like basically add a picture. So I'm going to go on plus. It gives me an option to upload a picture, which means it's from your computer or go from your drive. So maybe I want to go and upload a picture from my drive. To do that, you'll see this little menu shows up over here. I actually made a folder called Google Sites just so I had the pictures really readily available. And then I pick my picture and I hit insert. Okay, it's going to throw that image of here. Here's picture students working on computers relates to research resources. I can make that picture bigger. I can make it wider. Usually if you pick a layout, you generally stay with that layout size. So this one seemed to fit pretty well. I don't have too many changes to make. And then over here, you'll see there's a text box. So maybe I want to add some kind of text about it. Maybe I want to link like my research resources. So we have a page, and I'm sure all your schools do, that has like all the username and passwords for the research resources now that we're all home. So I'm just going to link that here by going to insert link. I got to grab my link there somewhere too. And I got to get my link first. But you can see here, this is actually a way to, if I wanted to link to one of my other pages, I can do that. So if I'm talking about something and I want to link, it's kind of like bookmarking something that's kind of like, you've probably done it in a slideshow before in a document where you just bookmark and it goes to that location.
Or like when you make HyperDoc.
Yeah, exactly. You can do that within your own website. So it just kind of goes back to where it is. I don't know if this is gonna let me, it seems to be stuck on something. Let me see if it'll let me go back to this. So if I go back to my drive and I want to find that document and get the link to it. So I'm trying to find that research resources link. There it is. You would share it just like you share any other document. Just make sure that your sharing settings are accessible to anyone that's going to be on your website if you want it that way. These we don't want that way because these have username and password. So we really just want it shared with CCSD, people with CCSD emails. So I'm going to go to my share and make sure my settings are set up that way. But if you have, let's say I made this mistake with my PSI blog that I didn't realize it was set up for just for CCSD emails. Well, that's not going to work because I wanted it for parents. So I had to go back and make those changes. And you'll find out right away because someone will request access, and you guys probably know that. But for this one, obviously, I just want the CCSD students, people with emails, so that they can access it. All right, so same thing, just like with any kind of document, you're just going to highlight it here, and you're going to hyperlink it here and drop that link in. That way, if students were to go here and I write, maybe I change this to be, usernames and passwords. Because I want my website obviously to be available to everyone, but I only want this document, let's say, to be shared with people that should have those username and passwords. Some other things you can do down here is you'll notice under the insert, there's all these kind of specific things that you can put in. So you can add a button, you can add a YouTube video, a calendar, a document, a form. So let's say, for example, I had a form and I wanted to add it to my library event page. We just had a Facebook contest for guess how many carrots are in the cup, and then you get to have a virtual lunch with Humphrey the hamster. Okay, this is my world. Yes, virtual lunch times with hamsters. So maybe, and so I had a form for it. So if I want to, let's say, insert a form, well, first I probably want to put, well, if I go to my forms, it looks like it's pulling up actually my most recent one, which there it is. So it was easy. If not, you might have it, you can easily find it in one of your files or something. And there it goes.
And we tested it out, Ryan and I, and it does, once you've published your site and made it live, the kids can actually click on the form and fill it out right on the site.
Right.
It doesn't take them anywhere else. It just, you can fill it out right on the site, which I thought was really great.
I think I thought maybe something that came up here, maybe not. But we already closed the contest. That's why you can't guess. It was 44 carrots in the cup, just in case you're curious. And 8 people got to have lunch with Humphrey. So you can drag and drop anything you want to this document. It's just like a document, really, and it's pretty user-friendly in the sense you can move things around, you can resize them, change your mind, delete things, add things. Let's see. So it's just like a document. I can add just a document here as well, and I can link anything, like just like a hyperlink you would do anywhere else. Something you want to make sure that you have once you're feeling pretty confident that you've got most of the changes you want. I know Rachel said at the earlier session, you're never going to be done with this. You're always going to be tweaking, adding, changing. Websites are never meant to be like stagnant. I mean, you're constantly updating things, or I don't like the layout of that. Actually, I'll show you that. You can kind of see on the top of here, we've got the menu and the pages. So there's a way to change that here if you want to go to this little gear over here next to this line, and you could change that. Right now I have it on the top, but you can change that to the side, and you'll see then it just gives you the hamburger lines over there. I don't know, I kind of prefer it on the top because I don't know that everyone sees those lines on the left-hand side. So they don't always just pop out at you. So this makes it more obvious where the connections are. So those are some more modifications you can make. When you're ready to share it or link it somewhere, the first thing you want to do is on here, you just want to make sure that if this is a website that you want, let's say, parents to see or the public to see, which I think Alicia said earlier this morning, you should definitely do because it's out there. It's a website. Generally, it's meant for most people. But you can see right here, it says published site CCSD 21. I want it to be more open than that. So we're going to have to change that to be public. But that also means I need to think about publishing permissions. Are the pictures that are featured, like the students, is that allowable? Like, are those students that have their permissions available to be shown that way? Do I have things like my username and passwords that should be shared that way? Probably not. So you can have a file within it not shared that way, but the main page is public. It doesn't change the individual files. So you want to make sure that that's changed. And then when you go to share the link, first you want to do is publish it, because you can kind of see right here. If I look on this is how I would share it. It says can't copy link for unpublished site. So I'm going to publish it first. Think of what name it looks like right here. They've suggested for me Tarkington-LMC is the name. I could change that if I want to. You can see who can view my site. It says anyone. You want to look at that. The other options were the same ones I did with the sharing settings. So, and then this one, I've had mixed reviews with this one, with the request public search engines to not display my site. Because I've had people not check it, but then they try to Google their site and they can't find it anyway. So I don't know how searchable some of these are. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember if I usually check that or not. But like I said, it's unlikely someone will find. I know I tried it with the teacher. She said, I can't find my own site. And we tried this on and off, and it didn't really make a difference. So once we're good to go, we hit publish. And again, until you really share that link with someone, most people will not find it. So now I'm going to take this link, the paperclip link, not the person with the plus, but this one. And that is my actual link. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to send it to like your website, the person in charge of websites at your school. You're going to share it with families that you're doing some kind of update or a blog about, or a website. You're posting on Twitter, whoever you plan on sharing this with as your audience. So that's pretty much it. I think I shared most things here. Let me make sure.
Ryan, hey Ryan.
Yeah.
I was just going to mention, you could show them the preview option.
Oh yeah.
So because that shows. So if you're working on your site and you want to see how it's going to look in real life on the internet, if that's real life, I don't even know anymore.
Right. So what I did is I just hit the preview, and you'll see down here, they say, okay, here's what's going to look like on a phone. Here's what's going to look like on a tablet. And you'll see, obviously it changes. Generally with a phone, things just get more vertical. So you'll still see everything. It just goes down. Let me see. And then you'll notice too, the menu changes on a phone because they don't have as much space. The same things are here. It's just different. So here's that same thing we added with the pictures. I don't see, there's not a lot of things on here, so it's not like it's all that long, but I know that I've seen it on the PTO page and other things, and you have to go and, scroll down quite a bit.
And I think you mentioned this, but also make sure that you hit publish every time that you make changes so that they say,
That's a really good point because, and actually I noticed on yours, and I've noticed this when I've done it too, that they show you the comparison.
Right.
I'm just gonna, let's just say I change one thing on here. Right. So just because it's not like a document, like where if you just change one thing, it just saves it, right? It does save it, but if I don't publish it, it doesn't change it on the web. It's still the same on the web. So see, I just added for families here. I'm going to hit publish, and it's going to bring me up here to, and it didn't do this the first time because I hadn't saved it or I hadn't published it before that. So it's saying basically, here's what it currently looks like, right? And you can see it does not say the word for families down here. And they're saying this is what you're changing it to be. That way, if you were like, oh, that's not what I meant, or wow, that looks totally different than I expected, or I didn't realize I, put those random letters down there, whatever, you can kind of get a preview before you actually publish it. And then once you have to hit publish again before it actually makes those changes. So now when
sorry, one more thing. The back button too, just like when you're working on slides or anything in Google, the back button, you can like reverse if you make a change and then you're like, ew, I don't like that.
Oh, like undo, right. Mm-hmm. Right. So there's plenty of features on here that are, features to mess around with, play with, modify things as you see fit. I don't know if I showed up here. This is probably another common thing. So let's say I have this layout here. I've got my, I took the layout from here, but now I'm like, what? I'd actually really like another picture down here. Let's say. So I'm going to say on the insert, I'm going to say insert an image. Last time I showed you how to get it from Drive. Now I'm going to say upload. When I do upload, it's asking me like from my actual computer. All right. And let's say I want a picture of some students working. So I'm clicking a picture. I'm hitting open. So these are ones that are actually saved to your computer. It's going to drop the picture pretty much wherever. And then again, same thing, you resize it to how you want. I know I did this a lot with, oh, it keeps growing. Stop growing. Do you see that? It's like, it
always does that. I don't know why.
I know, it won't stop. It's like, stop moving. So you can add those pictures and drop them wherever you want. And that kind of helps you modify these layouts to how you see fit. On this one here with Humphrey, I have down below all these different pictures, and I just added like captions beneath each one. So then I just added basically a picture and added a text box beneath each one. So that was just the easiest way for me to get all pictures on one page. There's different ways to do pictures here. You'll see there's if you have a lot of pictures, there's an image carousel, which you can imagine it's kind of like a slideshow that just keeps going, and you can just drop a bunch of pictures on there and have them they move on their own basically as you watch it. Yeah, obviously, like I said, you can add a text box. It's pretty easy. Drive. I know, Rachel, you showed earlier how to embed from Padlet. I don't know if anyone's interested in seeing that or not, but is there anything specific anyone wants to see or have a question about?
I thought the embedding Padlet was pretty cool, actually, just to show that that's a possibility to combine different tools like platforms into one site. Okay, I can show that on, let's say, let's do it on the homepage because I don't think I have a lot there. Okay, so from here, I'm going to find a Padlet that I have. So I've got a million of them. I actually paid for Padlet this month. I'll have to remember that I actually paid for it because I ran out of Padlets, and I'm like, fine, I'll pay the $10. It's fine. I had too many. I won't go there. I had too many going at one time, and it was just overwhelming to keep track of moving them around so much. So, so here's one that students did. So if I wanted to have, I don't know that I'd put this on an LMC page, but just as an example, these are kids finding ABCs, from nature, from their house, or whatnot. And so let's see, you found it over here, right? I've never done this before, but I did watch Rachel do it this morning. Did you find it under settings or the dot? Oh, it's the gears.
I think it's actually, no, it's not the gear, it's the dots.
The dots. Okay, yeah. So under the dots in Padlet, you went to share or embed. And then down here, it says embed in your blog or your website. And then it's giving you the code for it. So you're going to hit copy from this top one. The bottom one is for WordPress. So we don't want that. There's a couple different options, but the top one's one you want. You're going to copy. You're going to go back here. You're going to click embed and then go to embed code and then paste that whole code in. And then insert. And it's going to put it on my page. And then I'll have to resize it because you can see it's pretty tight with all those pictures in there. So if you had a Padlet that, I know Rachel had one that was for like showing different techniques in art. So that would be a great thing if you put one together. I know there's a bunch out there that other people put together of just different links and connections to things. Or if you want to show student work like this, that could be another option.
The way that I used it, Ryan, is just through Loom and Screencastify. So if I was posting videos that I wanted to be on there, it was just easier to embed it on there as well.
Okay. And do they have that same option? Like they give you a code option?
Yep. Loom and Screencastify have both have
awesome
embedded links.
Okay, fantastic. Right, because otherwise over here they have the option for YouTube. I don't see one that's like just a video, although I'm sure you could probably just put
You'd save the video to your drive and then get it from that way, but that was a lot harder. Yeah, that was a lot harder to do than just getting the embedded code and linking it on there. And then they can see you. So it's not a button that you push. It's like you actually making, it's the video.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's nice that they have some of these features. I went to a session on this at the library conference or the tech conference, but it was like highly technical. It was not like, this makes it more user friendly, especially when they already give you the code. This was where they were like trying to teach you how to write the code. And I was like, yeah, I don't think that's for me. I know Rachel showed this morning too. Over here, you can kind of see these menus popping up, and this is for this section. You can kind of, they kind of organizing these into sections. So you can change the color background. What we found though, Rachel, what did we find? The background is related to the theme, correct?
Yes. So depending on the colors in your theme, usually it'll give you one of those theme colors to choose from. If you bring up that background again, the little
right here
paint palette. But then you can go to image and you could find an image that's a background, or you could select image, right? Go to select. And then they will probably pop up what you used for like your header. All those options.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how many things you have in the forefront too. Like these are pretty, standard, like just colors. But like, I guess you wouldn't want anything that's too, like where you actually wanted someone to see the image if you have too much in the forefront of it,
Right.
So, but yeah, so there's, a lot of, again, different ways to modify and make things unique in your own. And change it as you see fit. Was there anything else that we wanted to look at, or any questions?
Ryan, I forgot. Did you show Unsplash? I know Rachel did this morning to get additional.
The sizing,
or just to show them Unsplash so you can get images for your header.
Yeah. On this document, the one that's got our presentation here. Where is it? I know. Oh, here, choose quality images. I know it's one of these links. I believe is where you have the links. So on here, Rachel has Unsplash. What are the other ones you have here? What's this one called? I can't even read it. There's 3 different websites basically that have, here, let's see, Pexels and Burst. What's that? Burst Shopify. So different places to get free images if you're looking for backgrounds. So I think this morning you were showing what textures and patterns seem to be a good one. So you can see very good quality images. So if I wanted to, let's say, take this rainbow looking one here, I believe we did like a download. And then from there, this is how you resized it or no? What did you do to resize it? I forgot. Do you remember how Rachel resized it?
I'm here. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I had to run for a second. Okay, so for resizing, you're going to, did you download the image?
Yeah, it's right here. Well, it's downloading. It must be a big one.
Oh.
It's taking a while. It's 3.4 megabytes.
Well, it's not too bad.
No, it's just slow, maybe just with the Google Meet going on. But how did you
maybe pick it, maybe close it and pick a different one, or you could use one of the images. Yeah, maybe pick that pretty one up in the corner.
Which one?
That with the colors.
Well, that's one I picked. That's one that was big.
That was? Oh, I wasn't here.
That was the same one. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, because this is the one you did this morning, right? This anxiety. Okay. So this one, but okay, so it's going. But what? I can't remember how you resized it. Did you?
You click on the picture and open it up.
Not the download, the picture itself.
Well, click on that.
Okay. Oh, gotcha. I remember. And then you said file, and you went over here to say resize. And you said the purpose, because I can't say I've ever done this before, but you said the purpose of resizing is because it will make your website load faster, correct?
Correct. If you have too many photos, there's a lot of megapixels, and then it just takes, the bigger the file, the longer it takes to load. So the best for viewing, I mean, I even made some of my images to the 2 megapixel, and they were fine for backgrounds. Because they were just, just a colorful background, nothing too detailed. So I would say pick 4 or 2.
Okay, and you can see here it's 22.9 megapixels currently, and we're compressing that down to 4. So it is going to be quite a bit size-wise better. And then you were saying the best way to do this is just kind of say this is the resize. That way you can find it again. Okay, and it's going into pictures, just to be clear where it's going. I sometimes lose files, don't know where I saved them to. All right, so I can get rid of this, get rid of that. Okay, and go back to this one, and this would be probably okay as a header or background, right?
Yes.
So if I go to section background, and then I say image, and I say upload, because this is the one on the computer itself. I was in pictures, and now I got to find it. Okay. All righty.
Maybe do a search. Yeah.
Never find things on these computers. Anyone else have this problem? And then it opens. I don't want it to open. I just want to select it. What's up with that? You know what I mean? I have the hardest time finding things. Here it is. Okay. So I want that. Now I can find open. Let's see if that worked. Ah, there it goes. So there it is in the background. It made it there. So, okay, good. All right. What do we think? Anything else we need to see or questions about? I feel like I raced through that. Maybe it's the coffee. Well, and because I got to see your presentation this morning. So I was like, I know what points I need to hit. Rachel showed me.
I think you did great.
Okay. All right. CPDs back up there. Okay.
Yep. CPDs up here. The YouTube recording of this will be on YouTube in a little while. So thank you, Ryan, so much for presenting this, and Rachel as well. So, and thanks to everybody for joining in.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, Barb.
Bye, Barb.
Thanks, Rye.